I'm Louise Reaney from LR Podiatry. It's the start of a brand new year. In fact, it's the start of a brand new decade, a time for New Year's resolutions and new starts. If you've had foot trouble that's been bothering you for a while and been putting off doing anything about it, the start of a new year might be a good time to think about getting something done. So if you're having recurrent problems with an ingrown toenail, or you've got a stubborn verruca that you can't get rid of, or your toenails are discoloured and thickened and you may think you've got a fungal infection, this could be a good time to start thinking about getting some treatment, because the treatments for these conditions take a little while to resolve. So if you start now, by the summer when we've all got our feet on display, you could be in a lot better place than you are now. Your feet could be looking and feeling much better. So while I'm on, I did want to talk about just some general foot care tips that are good to use all year round to keep your feet in tip-top condition. So number one is wash your feet regularly. It seems obvious, but sometimes when we're in the shower or the bath, you wash the rest of your body and kind of miss your feet out. You think because they've got wet, that's good enough. Well, I would say no, get the sponge around them, give them a bit of a scrub, get round your nails, give everything a bit of a rub, get them nice and clean, rinse them well. Then when you're out of the bath or the shower, dry them well. Dry all over them, but especially pay particular attention to the spaces in between your toes. You don't really want to leave any moisture behind there, because if it's wet in there and then you're putting that in your shoes, it can be an area where fungal infections can start. So get drying in between your toes and all of your feet really well. When your feet are just out of the shower, it might be a great time to use a skin file, something along the lines of this. It's got like an abrasive surface on it. This one's quite nice, it's shaped, it's curved, so that's quite good for doing the backs of your heels on that side, and the other side for doing the balls of your foot. So just gently rub over any areas of dry, rough, hard skin, any flaky skin you've got. Give it a gentle rub over a couple of times a week. I would then apply a foot cream. In clinic, I use CCS cream, which I love. I've used it for years. It's really effective, but there are some other really good ones on the market. So I like a foot cream. I always recommend a foot cream that has 10% urea in it. That's an ingredient that works really, really well on the skin on the soles of your feet. The skin on the soles of your feet is quite different to everywhere else on your body. It's much thicker, it's hairless, and it does a massive amount of work. You know, every step we take, that skin on the soles of our feet is doing a huge amount of work. So it's a bit like oiling a machine. By keeping your skin moisturised and well lubricated, it enables it to do the fantastic job it does, to do it really well without becoming damaged or sore. So really good foot moisturiser, essential. And then shoes. Now I talk a lot about shoes to my patients. And it can be a bone of contention, especially with my ladies, especially with the female patients, because we do like to wear shoes for fashion reasons that aren't great for our feet. So what I would say is wear shoes that are appropriate to the activity that you're doing. So if you're out on a night out, you know, you're going to a wedding or an event and you need to wear a heel, that's fine for those few hours that you're going to be wearing it. For the rest of the time, you need a shoe that is going to be giving you support and comfort. Now, I've whipped this off. This is the shoe that I'm wearing for work today. So, you know, I like to think it's quite fashionable. So it's got a good sole, it's not dead flat. It's got a little bit of a raise at the heel, more so than at the toe. It's got a really good fastening on it. Laces are great, so you need a shoe with a good fastening. Slip-on shoes tend to be very tight fitting, and so they do, when you're walking, your feet kind of move about in them a little bit because there's nothing, the fastening's not holding your foot back, and to stay on your foot it has to be tight fitting. So slip-on shoes tend to squeeze a little bit, so they just need to be used for the odd occasion. But for every day, for work, for shopping, for taking the kids to school, for running, jumping, moving about, you need something with a good fastening on it, room in the toe box and some depth. So I don't think these are too bad as a work shoe. Obviously, if you're doing activities like running and sports, you need an appropriate shoe for that, an appropriate trainer for that. And then that will ensure that your feet are well supported and they are not going to get damaged by the activities that you do. So that's just a few little tips, just to recap: wash and dry well, moisturise, file the hard skin, and wear appropriate shoes. If you do those things, you should stay problem free. If you find you are having a problem with your feet, get yourself along to your local podiatrist. Just a word of note that I would like to say is that when I see patients for the first time, they're often very embarrassed by their feet. They often think that I am going to be horrified by what their feet look like, or that I'm going to be shocked, or that, you know, just they do worry about coming and that their feet are going to be the worst ones I've ever seen. I promise you they won't be. We are, I think most podiatrists, certainly when they've been in the business as long as I have, are unshockable. To be honest, the more difficult the problem is, the better we like it, because it's something to really get your teeth into and solve. So please don't ever be embarrassed about whatever it is on your feet. We will enjoy treating it and we will enjoy making you better. So, happy 2020 everybody. Let's make the roaring 20s a fabulous decade, and that's it for now. If you've got any problems with your feet, see your podiatrist.